What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the pre-match build-up for the game against Coventry at Wembley in the FA Cup semi-final. It's the 45th game of the season, 40th different starting lineup, 28th different centre-back partnership, different backline, sorry, and a 13th different, you can tell how excited I am, 13th different centre-back partnerships, and 5 academy graduates on the bench for United coming into this game. The big question was, who is going to start at centre-back? It seems like it's going to be Casemiro, so I'm just going to run through the team, and then I'll get the lads' thoughts on it. So we've got Onana, we've got Delo, we've got Casemiro, we've got Maguire, we've got Wan-Bissaka at left-back, we've got Mainu, McTominay, and Bruno Fernandes, which make up the midfield, and then we have Garnacho, Rasmus Højlund, and Marcus Rashford. Now, just to preempt it, we think Casemiro's going to start. It could be McTominay. It could be either one. But who knows at this point? It's been a guessing game all season. On the subs bench, we've got Bayende, Ericsson, Diallo, Antony, Forson, Amas, Ogine, Lewis Jackson, and Wheatley. So, like I said, 5 academy graduates on the bench as well. Shreyas, how do you feel about that team, Sunshine?
Uh, I think yesterday when the news came that we about the absentees that we'll have for this game, my confidence did drop really low because I I have a image in my head as to how this game was going to progress anyway, but now with the kind of players that we've got out, and you could say we are desperate for options right now, and I think even Ten Hag just wishes that whatever he's doing today just works out, because every single thing that he probably would be going for when it comes to playing certain players in certain positions, it is a big gamble.
Yeah.
So all he can do is right now just expect that it goes well. And from the opposition's point of view, when they look at it, they'll actually say that this probably could be a once in a lifetime opportunity to get the better of United in a semi-final in the FA Cup. So it's not going to be easy. It's I think Coventry will be up for it as well, and I just really wish that certain players can just the senior players in this squad today can have a decent outing.
Yeah, well, we think the last time Casemiro played at centre-back, I was trying to think. Can any of you lads remember?
I think it was Bournemouth
Was it
in
Bournemouth
the
last season?
I think so. Yeah, Bournemouth
I
in
was
the
at the game, so I was seeing it this afternoon or whenever we did the show. I was trying to remember. I was like, I'm sure it was Bournemouth, but he scored against Bournemouth. So I was thinking, well, that was from a set piece. What did he play? I don't know. I just
think it was
remember him
either
slotting in there.
Bournemouth. Yeah. I think it
Yeah,
was Bournemouth or someone like it was in the cup. It was in the League Cup.
yeah. Played a bit
So
like a quarterback, didn't he? Like you can see like long balls from the back line, which I'm sure there's going to be a lot of from Maguire and Casemiro today. Samuel,
Yeah.
speaking of Bournemouth, game feels like a long time ago. When we recently played them in that 2-2 draw. Are you expecting any kind of improvement on that performance? Are you expecting us to progress even more, or yeah, just chat to me about that.
No, in the short answer, because we've got one fit centre back and he is questionable because he got an injury at Bournemouth and played through the injury. So I'm going to assume he's not 100% fit at this point in Maguire. Got playing Casemiro at centre back, who last time he did it was good, but this season has been terrible. Awful. Can't run, can't do anything, can't pass. Backing in his own area, 2-footing people when he feels like it. So that defensive line worries me. And McTominay as a midfielder in the 8, which I assume is where he's going to be. I'd like to think he'd play him in the 10 and put Bruno in the 8, but we all know he's not gonna. So I assume McTominay and him on the ball is awful on the ball.
Yeah.
Like he's not what you need at all to progress the ball, to put fires out, whatever it is you want him to do. He's not that guy. So there's a lot of holes in there that I worry about. And then obviously, does Rashford show up? Because he does tend to score in a big game, but it's against Coventry, but it's a semi-final. Does he score anything? I don't know. And then Højlund's going to get 0 service, so he's just going to be up there by himself doing what he can and just getting no service. So yeah, not confident at all, and that defensive injuries made me even less confident, unfortunately.
Absolutely. Shreya, Sam mentions Rashford there. Players like Rashford and Bruno need to step up today in it, because they've been more so Marcus, but they've been below par, haven't they?
Yeah, I think definitely. When it in this sort of a matchup, of course the limelight falls on certain players. and I think Rashford definitely is one of them, because going into a fixture of this level, you would want someone like Rashford to actually have a decent game. Because we all know, when it comes to the attack, Hoyland wouldn't really get as much to do. His work rate and the way he is able to move off the ball is actually very impressive. But apart from it, if you have to look at it from an angle that that Hoyland would be getting a lot of chances, or will he be be getting on the end of a lot of through balls or something, that's not really going to happen. So the focus just automatically shifts to the wingers, and in that aspect you've got Garnacho and Rashford, and Rashford is the senior player here, so he has been scoring a lot of goals when it comes to in games like these, when it matters the most. But he's just not really been in that vein of form. Like, I would, in the past few games, I wouldn't really say that Rashford has even been half decent. He's not really been at it. So once again, all you can do is just wish for the best, and just expect that these players, I'm not saying just have a world class game today, but at least have a decent outing. Like, genuinely just have a decent performance, get the basics right, not try to overdo when it comes to moving into the attacking third. That's all you can expect, because apart from it, everyone actually knows the game plan and how it is going to be proceeding. So
Yeah.
all you can do is just expect that our players can have the better thinking caps when it comes to the final third, and better
Yeah.
clinicalness as well when it comes to finishing of chances.
Absolutely. Lucky Singh says McTominay centre back, Anthony Santos starts. Anthony doesn't start, as far as I'm aware. Does he? No, he doesn't.
No,
Garnacho
Anthony
starts.
and Garnacho.
Anyway, Dan Raj says even Shrey has returned from illness, but still no traces of Malacio. UTFR says that I've put Ericsson at 6, not Scott. Ericsson can control this type of game. Very, very worried about this game. Ellis Sims needs to be kept quiet. Sam, where do you see these key battles kind of shaping up? Because we touched on the centre backs. It seems like it's going to be a lot of long ball, a lot of trying to get raft markers in behind. Do you think Coventry are going to look at that and try to exploit it with players like Ellis Sims?
Yeah, they're probably, Coventry probably look to United, they probably think, oh, play out from the back, they're going to try and press us, blah, blah. But then when you look at our defensive line at the minute, there's nobody quick there, is there? Scott,
Not really.
not very quick. Maguire, definitely not quick. Casemiro, his legs are completely fucked off.
Yeah.
So, that United's ideal thing is you'd probably sit in, wouldn't you? Just so you don't get exposed continuously. So, it might set Coventry off a little bit, where they're like, hold on, they're sitting in a low block or maybe a mid block or something here, and they might have to adjust slightly, because they're probably expecting us to come out and play like we have been doing. But if Ten Hag plans to play the way we have been doing with this defensive line, he's out of his fucking tree. He's actually lost his fucking mind, because if you start trying to play out from the back and press a high line with these two centre backs, you're just going to get killed. And it's going to be open warfare from the beginning if he tries to do that. So I'm hoping he doesn't.
I think there's going to be a huge disconnect, because you've got, like you said, two centre-backs that are extremely slow. The line's going to drop and drop and drop and drop as the game gets on. Especially if, imagine if one of the centre-backs gets injured as well. If Maguire has to come off or Casemiro has to cut it.
16-year-old Louis Jackson's going to have to play
exactly.
in an FA Cup semi-final.
You're going to get Scott and Bruno really pushing on, and then Mainu with so much fucking space to deal with. And I just hope the attackers are in mind to create for the forward as well. But we've got more and more people joining the stream. Let us know your thoughts on the games. We'll do the score predictions towards the end, so just save them for now. But smash a like on the video and subscribe if you are new. I believe we was 4 subscribers off 4,800 before we went live. So if you can... Oh, we're 5 off it, are we?
Yeah.
So yeah, if you can help contribute that'd be absolutely amazing. Shreyas, do you see this being really open, or do you see it being the tight, cagey game? How do you see it playing out?
Oh, absolutely open on both both ends. Absolutely open. They'll have a lot of chances. They'll have a lot of shots. Similarly for us, we'll also have certain chances going on the opposing end. But yeah, no United game, I would say, since Christmas has been cagey. Like, genuinely, none of them have been. Maybe the scoreline and the way the game has gone on could be termed as cagey, but the way games have proceeded have genuinely not been cagey at all. It's genuinely been open market for any opposing team that has come up against United. And I don't expect any changes to be made today, because there have been worse situations, I would actually say, where Ten Hag could have made changes, where he could have made tweaks. It's been all season. So I don't expect him changing anything, especially, moving on into a semi-final as well. He's had plenty of opportunities if he wanted to actually change the way he actually wants to, proceed and build out from a game, but he hasn't done it. So I don't expect him changing anything today. So all you can wish for is Coventry not to actually have their finishing boots on today, because they will definitely have their chances as well. They'll definitely have their fair share of chances.
And the way they're going to be looking at it, this is the biggest game of their career, really. I mean, I know they had at least one of them, I would say, because obviously last season was in the playoffs. That would have been huge financially for him. But if they can reach an FA Cup final, that would be so fucking big for him, considering their story, which I wasn't even aware of, and the backstory. But when we had Lucian on, telling about everything that was happening with the stadium and chance of going down, loads and loads of stuff. Like, it's a very interesting story. So they will 100% be up for this, and they will make it the game of their lives. I just hope United players are on the exact same wavelength, because we've seen them just not turn up or just not look interested at all, including players like Casemiro, Rashford, these kind of guys. So I have no idea what to expect from this game. I really, really don't. I think the narrative on the manager sounds interesting, because a lot of people saying he's going to lose his job if he loses this game, kind of a career ender in that sense. But then if you flip the narrative, second consecutive FA Cup final if we win today, it could be Ten Hag's second trophy if he wins it. Is it that black and white for you? If he loses his job, obviously if we win it, it's kind of looked at very differently.
If you just looked at it in terms of results and sort of on the pitch play, then you'd have to be like, yeah, he's done, it's over. Like, you can't continue with that. However, I think there's so many extenuating circumstances that put that into doubt, and you have to assess. Like, we've been through it a million times. The injury thing, what is it, 60 separate injuries now? Which is just, I know every team has injuries, but that amount of injuries is fucking insane.
Unheard of,
like, it's just ridiculous amount of injuries.
Yeah.
So you've got to look at, like, is he training them too hard? Is he pushing them to the limits and the breaking? Is the medical staff not good enough? Are they not assessing them properly and then getting them back too early? Is there issues there? We don't know. Like, we could speculate, but we don't know. We've had the ownership takeover, which took a year and a bit before it actually got fixed, and then it took a while before Jim was actually in the door. We then had trying to get people in for recruitment. Like, we just got Jason Wilcox over the line. I believe he's going to be at Wembley today. Dan Ashworth's still ongoing. Omar Barada doesn't start until July. So there's been so much change. And then put all that aside, you've got the on-player stuff. Anthony, Rashford, Sancho, Ronaldo. Like, do you know what I mean?
Greenwood.
It's just shit after Greenwood, shit after shit after shit after shit. He's not had a clean 6 months in his entire career at Manchester United, and now things are hitting the fan. So I would like to see him have a fresh slate under this new ownership, under this new structure for 6 months, give him the opportunity, and I think he turns it around. If he doesn't, then I think no fan, including myself, would be like, yeah, you can't argue against that, because he's been given the opportunity. I think if you cut him loose now, we've not had an opportunity to see him under a competent structure, a competent system, without all these massive injuries. But he definitely has to take responsibility for some of the stuff that he's done. Like, he has to.
Style of play.
If he is pushing players to the point of breaking and not sort of load management and stuff like that, that needs to be looked at as well. Like, if he's running them too hard, all that different stuff needs to be assessed in this summer. But you know what football pressure is like. If you fuck up on a big scale like this, could cost you your job, man. It could. Yeah.
Especially with them people that are watching. I know Avram Glazer's going to be there. I know Joel Glazer's going to be there. I know Sir Jim, when he finishes his marathon, is probably on his way there now. Dave Brailsford, no doubt, going to be there. Jason Wilcox, there is a link here, Shreyas, because yesterday it was Chelsea versus City. A lot of the players on there, a decent chunk, I would say, were kind of came up through his mentorship, I want to say. So players like Oscar Bob, Foden, Cole Palmer, all these kind of players, he was a big part of them becoming to where they are today. One, does that bode well for United, do you think, with Jason Wilcox coming in? And two, the youngsters that we currently have, are they almost like the only positive this season that we can kind of take away?
Definitely are. Like, genuinely, if you look at the youngsters that we've got right now, you could argue they're perhaps the best players that we have on the pitch, even though you've got players who've got 5 Champions League in their trophy cabinet, or players.
Well, Garnacho, Kobe, and Dalot have been our best players this season. You would probably say, in it 19 to 20, like.
Exactly. And apart from it as well, whenever Willy Kambala as well has been given an opportunity, has been solid, hasn't really put in a foot wrong. He's looked impressive. took his opportunity quite well whenever he's been given minutes under in the United shirt. So I think these guys definitely deserve a lot of credit. And you could argue that the position that we are still in right now, even if we are in the FA Cup, even if the position that we are in the league, it goes it genuinely comes down to these guys, because the senior players have been a massive letdown this season.
Yeah.
Kobe Menu has come in and been a breath of fresh air. I think if Menu wouldn't have been promoted to the first team this season, I don't really think we would have even been around 6th place or 7th place.
Can you imagine? Oh my god.
Yeah, imagine imagine genuinely Kobe Menu never came through through the ranks this season, and you have a midfield of Bruno. Mount is injured, so you've got to go with Scott McTominay, and then you've got Casemiro playing in this system. So it would have been even worse. In the attack as well, Rashford has been heavily inconsistent, but Garnacho has come in. He's been a lot more impressive, has been versatile enough to actually shift from the left to the right to the left and right and left and right, and his, I would say, end product is still questionable at times, but he still looks like a much more deadly force on the pitch in comparison to the other attackers we've had. So I think definitely the young players that we've got right now are probably the best thing that Ten Hag could have wished for this season.
Yeah, I think the front three need to take the ball by the horns in this game, and they really need to, because we're not seeing enough from them this season. Individually, maybe from certain ones, but as a collective, definitely not. I want to ask you about the Chelsea and City game time in a moment. I'm just going to read out a couple of comments. Is Connor Qualley says, is the United team out yet? Not sure about your situation or whatever, but it is on the screen. UTFR says, it's the team that's on the screen. Oh, yeah, sorry. Charlie Malvin says, can you explain to me why a player who has not trained in 3 weeks is in the starting lineup over Eriksen? I think because Eriksen's legs have completely gone. I think it's pretty much done for Eriksen. He'll probably get 10, 20 minutes towards the end of the season, and that's probably it. That'll be his goodbye, I think.
He's asked to leave, hasn't he? Like he said in an interview.
Yeah,
he's gone next season. He's gone next season.
Yeah. It's not just one thing that's going wrong. It's the whole training and medical that is not up to stuff. We have a few coaches. We go to one guy in charge of rehab who's also a fitness coach. Yeah. Don't worry. And he also be looking at all that, but we need to focus on the performance today. City and Chelsea yesterday, so I'm not sure if you caught the game or caught highlights or whatever. Judged off that game, who would you have rather have got? Because I thought Chelsea looked pretty good, to be fair, and City looked knackered.
Chelsea looked good, but they couldn't finish, could they?
Jesus
Jesus Christ,
yeah.
couldn't finish their
So
dinner
bad.
if they tried. So you might want Chelsea, because that's where we concede a lot of shots, and if they're not going to finish any of them, then we'll take that. Exactly.
Well, we got beat up both recently.
Exactly. Yeah. So I'm like, if their finishing is that terrible, then I probably would have took them. I think City will find a way. If we do make it to the final, I think City find a way. Just even if they are playing this bad, which they were pretty terrible for City standards, they'll still find a way to beat us, because we're even worse. If you can put it that way. I think Chelsea would have been a preferable option, because you never know what Chelsea you're going to get. Like, it could be absolute capitulation, or they could destroy you, or they could do that where they play really well and they've been set up and coached decently, but Nicola Jackson just could not finish like anything. Like, I think he missed, was it like 3 sitters? He probably should have buried.
Bad.
Awful,
bad.
Really awful. So they've got a hill to climb. Then, like, they've got to find a striker who can finish goals, because they can't keep relying on Cole Palmer to sort of bury him out, because that was awful to watch. That it was not a good game either to watch. Terrible game to watch. But
no, and that's what I kind of feel almost less ambitious, the fact that we've got City in the final, just because we played them last season. I can't remember the last time we beat them. Was it first year Ten Hag at Old Trafford? I think. Yeah. But we haven't beat him at Wembley, or certainly in a significant thing for a while, I don't think, either. So it just kind of leaves me a bit like, if we do get through and pass Coventry, which is a tough test in itself, I'm kind of like, that game against City is just going to be horrible. You lose for a second time against your Manchester rivals, for them to go and do a double.
In a final.
After they'd just done a treble the year before, after fucking beating you in the final as well. It's like, I can't be asked for this shit, man. Anyway, a couple of stats here for you. Manchester United have won 13 of their past 15 meetings with Coventry. This will be the first game between the sides since September 2007, when Coventry won 2-0 at Old Trafford in the League Cup. So there's a nice stat for Coventry fans. United are playing in their 32nd FA Cup semi-final, 2 more than any other side. They could reach the final for a record 22nd time, currently tied with Arsenal on 21. Coventry have scored 19 goals in this season's FA Cup, more than any other side. The last club from outside the top flight to score more in a campaign was Wrexham in 1977. So a couple of interesting stats there. Shreyas, I don't expect you to have a full-blown analysis on Coventry and how they play and who the star players are. We had Lucian for that when we did the preview. But what are you expecting? Are you expecting the typical cup performance, sit back, count, or like what do you think?
I think that's the way they should go. Because spaces are going to be there. They know that, if they get if they just win the ball back, because we all know that United, while progressing forward, will lose out on the ball on a lot of occasions.
Mm-hmm.
If they are able to win it back in the right areas and just deploy, their attackers at the right time, they can actually hurt us a lot. And I think they should be going for that tactic as well, because teams that are boxed in makes it difficult for United to actually pass through. And if they are going to be going with that sort of a strategy, we've seen it all season. We do struggle a lot against these sort of teams. So I think that genuinely should be the way to go. Just sit back and counter attack, and they'll actually have a lot of opportunities if they do go by this tactic.
Yeah, it's not as if you need Pythagoras' theorem to get past United. It's not. He says it on the tin, innit? You know how you can exploit us.
Just win the ball and run.
Yeah, get it into midfield and run it and cut back, and you'll definitely score a goal. Sam, 8th in Championship at the minute, Coventry, I believe, but they've beat Maidstone, who had a very good run themselves, Oxford United, Sheffield Wednesday, and Wolves. So they've quite literally gone up the leagues in terms of teams that they've beat. They've earned the way there, haven't they, in that respect?
Yeah, like you can't take away from them. Obviously, they got to a playoff final last season and lost on pens to Luton. So it's literally, when you go to penalties, it's a 50-50 shot, innit? Like whether you win or lose. So they were unfortunate not to be in the Premier League this season instead of Luton. So the playoff push has gone a little bit awry this season at the minute in 8th. So I think they're just off it. They might be able to sneak in, but it's getting late now to sort of get into that position. And yeah, they've beaten teams well, beating Wolves, who have been fairly decent this season, I'd say, under Gary O'Neill. Gave us a fucking tough job, and if it wasn't for Kobbie Mainoo's absolute stunner and Onana getting away with a penalty decision, then we probably would have been beat twice by Wolves ourselves. So yeah, they've done well, man, and they deserve to be here. So if they do beat us, it's not like they've looked their way through and then just came up against a shit United team. Like they've worked their way here, and credit to them, man. Like if they do beat us and they go on to face City, then I will be wearing my Coventry shirt loudly and proudly and hoping they beat them, because they deserve to.
For anyone who follows Coventry, again, I don't know these players. I know a couple of them, like in terms of who their key players are. But they're starting with Bradley Collins, Bobby Thomas, Ellis Sims, Callum O'Hare, Hadji Wright, Ben Sheaf, Liam Kitching, Jake Bidwell, Joel, I cannot even start to pronounce that second name, Latibidwe, I think it is, Milan Ewick, and Josh Eccles. Again, don't know if that's in order. I don't get why, when they put the lineups out, why did they do that? Like, they put the striker near the keeper and just do it in fucking order, man.
Yeah.
Don't understand it.
Do you know when they do the graphic with the 11 and then you could tell the graphics guy doesn't know where they're supposed to be, so they put a bit and you're just like, why the fuck? Like, they used to do it with Rooney and they put him out like in midfield. It's like, why the fuck's Rooney in midfield? Because he just didn't know where the lineup was.
Bizarre, innit? With all due respect to them, Shreyas, as well, the centre backs that they have, someone like Rasmus Højlund, if you want to be considered a top striker, I know he's been struggling with service and stuff, but he's still got to cause them problems in terms of 1v1 duels, holding the ball up. Do you need to see more from him, do you think?
The thing is, I can only see more from him when he actually ends up on the ball a lot more.
Yeah.
Because I think he has the fewest touches of any outfield player for United this season. So when you're genuinely not on the ball as much, you can't really do as all he can do is make off the ball runs and try and create spaces for Rashford and Garnacho. That's what he's been doing so far this season for the most part. But yeah, apart from it, if he does get the ball a lot more, then I would say yes, I can expect a lot more from him when it comes to hold up play, when it comes to retaining the ball a lot more, when it composure in certain areas. But that can only happen when players do supply him with the ball. Not just in the final third, but at least make him part at least of the build-up play, or just to find him a lot more, have that instinct to actually locate Højlund whenever he's around. That's a part that is really missing in this team right now.
Eric Tanner got asked about this actually, Sam, in the presser yesterday, and he said he was on a fantastic run and then broke his rhythm. Why? The question was why. I think there was also always many reasons. For instance, he was in the moment when he was in that run, and we had the moment where we had many players available. We could bring out a strong side, and after he returned, we have to make compromises, and of course, that is what decreases the performance, and that's also impacting everyone. So also on the striker. Is that a valid, almost excuse for why Rasmus isn't turning up, or do you just simply think it's as black and white as he ain't getting service, so he ain't going to score?
Pretty much, that's what it is. Like, I don't know why people are saying he's not showing up. Like, how many average touches does he get? 2, 3? Like, what do you want a striker to do with 2 or 3 touches per game? Like, he gets. I think his average shot is like 0.8 or something like that per game.
Exactly.
It's like, how is he going to score? Like,
did you see
ridiculous.
the stat on Haaland? Haaland's had more big chances missed than Haaland's had shots or something like that. I can't remember what it was.
Like, the amount of chance, like everybody's saying about Haaland this season, he's not that great. He's still the leading top goal scorer, and he's missed a shit ton of chances. However, think about the amount of balls he gets fed from like Kevin De Bruyne and Phil Foden and stuff. He gets opportunities to score. Haaland don't get shit. Like, he gets nothing. Like, he gets the ball and then he tries to work a goal for himself most of the time because he knows he's not going to get service. You've got 2 of the most selfish wingers in the world. 3 if you put Antony in it as well. In Rashford, Garnacho and Antony. Who all they want to do is cut inside and shoot. Every single time. That's what they want to do. And then Rasmus is making runs and people are just ignoring him. And then on top of that, you think Bruno would find him a bit more. And he's still not great. Like, he's done a couple, but he's not been great. I've just seen a really shocking statistic. The amount of games our current defenders have missed since joining United for club and country. Maguire 31, Lindelof 36, Wan-Bissaka 37, Varane 43, Malacia 45, Martinez 48, Dalot 64. Luke Shaw, do you want to take a guess?
170.
Triple figures.
Oh wow, 150?
257.
Oh my god. Wow.
That just shows you the state of our defence right now. So.
I've also just seen a tweet as well saying £1 billion spent post Fergie, and our bench is Bayende, Amas, Jackson, Ogiene, Eriksson, Forson, Anthony Ahmad, and Wheatley. Yeah. That is mad, isn't it? Absolutely mad. Right, we have to bring it back to the game slightly. What are we thinking? Score predictions, lads. Has the team lineups, as the way you feel today, changed that, or are you still sticking with? Trey, I'll go to you first because me and Sam did ours on the preview.
I think 2-1.
United or Coventry?
Yeah, of course, United. United.
Okay.
I don't see a lot of goals going there. Going about. I see a lot of chances and a lot of plays being made, but I don't see a lot of goals in the fixture.
Interesting. And who do you think score for us today?
I think Bruno scores, and I think we score off a set piece. Probably Casemiro or someone scores off a set piece.
Sam?
I'm sticking with mine. It's 2-2 and we're going to penalties, and we'll go through on penalties.
And what did I say? Extra time? Did I say?
Yeah, extra
United
time.
Win it in extra time. I think players off the bench, quality. What we're seeing in the chat, Charlie's going 3-1 United. This is the team we feel they should be easy to beat. Coventry should be in the key word.
Famous last words, Charlie. Yeah. Famous.
Always. If you've watched us this season, Forest, Bournemouth twice, Fulham, Luton, we only scraped past.
Newport gave us a game, for fuck's sake.
Newport gave us a really good game.
You know what I mean?
Newport gave us a game.
That's what I'm saying. So yeah, I think extra time, maybe a Rashford winner. I think we're going to struggle, to be honest. I think it'll be very the narrative will be after this. Yeah, you beat Coventry, you got through, but only just. Coventry probably deserved to win the game, or they had the better chances. That's how I can see it kind of shaping up.
Unless by some miracle we just absolutely smash him, like just batter him. That's the only way out of that narrative. If it's any other score than an absolute hammering, then the narrative is going to be you scraped past Coventry. Yeah. That's going to be the narrative.
Oh God, Man United, football, yeah. I suppose we'll have to wait and see what happens after the game. We will be live with the post-match analysis. Who's on after the game? Sam, is it you, Adam?
Me and Adam, possibly Dan. He's gonna
possibly Dan as well. Interesting. Yeah, so we'll be live, so make sure you come and join us for that. Please do smash a like on the video and get all your score predictions in if you haven't done yet. Let me just see if there's any more trickling through. It's a championship team. I know, I'm fully aware.
Charlie,
but,
mate, for fuck's sake, stop it.
Newport,
Stop saying
Newport
this
was
shit.
what? Newport was League 2, is it?
Yeah.
League 2,
Yeah.
4-2
Yeah.
it was.
Exactly. So, don't put too much into it. UTFR saying 4-2 United. That's more like it.
Yeah.
I hope so. I hope we're right. Well, I can't speak. I hope we're right, lads. There we go.
Please just be entertaining. Like, just be entertaining.
Yeah.
If we're gonna lose
Yeah.
and we're gonna go out, let's just be entertaining. Like, let's just not
Yeah.
be absolute shit. Like, that's all I ask.
I think they're going to really take advantage of some of the weaknesses in the team. I do.
They definitely will. Definitely will.
So, welcome to the roller coaster. Can't wait. Tune in after the game, lads. Come and join us for your analysis. Win, lose, or draw. We'll always be here. So make sure you come and tune in. And I'll be filming the pros and cons tonight. Again, regardless, win, lose, or draw. So, thank you, Sam and Treyas, for coming on. And enjoy the rest of your weekend. And hopefully we smash Coventry. Take it easy.